So we created the Health, Environment and Indigenous Communities Research Group out of the graduate students that I work with, and then also the research assistants that I hire to help me, support me in the research that I do as a faculty member at the university also. We meet on a regular basis, and it's a support group, but it's also now become a learning and a discussion group as well, where we have some very interesting critical discussions about topics that are common to all of the research that we're all doing, whether it be about ethics and working with communities, translating and mobilizing knowledge from the results from our projects, or even in some circumstances the methods that we're using in communities to examine the issues that we're looking at related to health and environment relationships. The realization that students that were engaged in the work as we are, we're all starting to essentially break new ground in the terms of the challenges we were facing and the way that we were carrying out the work that we were doing in cooperation with and in communities. To the point that we started to work on or started to format those working group or those research group meetings as not simply just updates, administrative updates for me and student support sessions, but also critical learning and reflection sessions for the students about important topics they were facing in their research. We've taken advantage of that opportunity because what we have realized is that in our discussion, we're actually generating new understanding collectively from our different experiences, and we've started to try and capture that as well to disseminate that to other research groups, other graduate students here on campus and beyond. Knowledge mobilization to me and to other members of the research group is not simply what you do with the results of the study or how you communicate most effectively the results of the study. It's everything related to the development of the relationship of what the study is going to be about, how you communicate about that study and talk and learn about that study during the process of doing that study, as well as how you increase the chances or enhance the chances that people are going to be able to use the results, whether it be through communication forms or knowledge transformation forms of taking the results of a research study and transforming it into things like a policy brief or a community education manual or things like that. In the research group that I lead at the university, we do two things. We do study some aspects of knowledge mobilization. We have projects with some postdocs and with some students that are looking at evaluating the effectiveness of communication of research results, whether it be from a health survey in Nunavut with the Inuit population as an example, or whether it be tracking the output of the results of a study on food security in a northern region and whether or not policymakers are using that in making decisions now and into the future. The other thing that we do related to knowledge mobilization is every single project that we have has a component embedded within it of knowledge mobilization. All of the projects that I lead, all of the projects that the students conduct are committed to the philosophy and the idea that knowledge mobilization is a critical component of the research process. It's not simply something that you do at the end in order to increase your own profile as a researcher. It's something that you have to think about and start doing from the beginning because you have an ethical and a social responsibility as a researcher working with human participants, working with Indigenous communities and Indigenous individuals within communities to be able to make sure that that knowledge is put in a form and is delivered and is disseminated in a way that it is most accessible to be able to address the issue that it was trying to understand in the first place.